So here's a Halloween-centric Who Would Win. And yeah, I thought this would be kind of fun because I was watching Candyman 3 today, and this idea just kind of crawled in there. And that is Freddy versus the Candyman. Yeah, Freddy versus the Candyman. I thought this would be a pretty unique fight because, yeah, they're both undead. They both kind of deal with psychological warfare. And I thought it'd be kind of fun. What would it be like if they fought? So yeah, let's talk about it. Now let's start with the obvious. Actually, instead of talking about one character then shift over to the next, let's talk about the obvious. Can Freddy attack Candyman in his dreams? Is that a possibility? Because do ghosts dream? Do ghosts have the ability to dream? Do ghosts sleep? Well, since they're undead, they can't. They essentially cannot do anything like that. They can't. Well, to be fair, that's kind of on the other end of the spectrum. It's really hard to say because we can't ask the dead, "Do you dream?" We can't unless you hold a séance, which that's a whole horror movie in of itself. I'm rambling. So that's the big question. So let's say, for instance, that Freddy can actually get into Candyman's head. What would that be like? Well, speaking of bees, I think Freddy would love to torment Candyman, or Daniel Robitaille, as his real name is, on that day he was killed. I think he would torment him. Like, I'm just imagining an image of when he was tied to the tree and had his hand sawed off, and instead of seeing the hook hand, the Freddy glove is where is his hand now, and all the people chanting his name, chanting Candyman 5 times, all have Freddy's face on them now. Is that not a great image right there? So yeah, that's kind of the big thing. Can Freddy actually get into Candyman's dreams? And also, can Candyman protect himself while he's in that dreamscape? I would say yes, because much like Jason, while he was kind of out of his element, did hold his own in Freddy's dreamscape. Granted, wasn't exactly much when he figured out the weakness, which I call bullshit on, because never once has Jason been afraid of water. But whatever. I have a strange relationship with Freddy versus Jason. Anyway, so let's say for sake of argument that fight does happen, and yeah, I think Candyman could still hold his own in the dream realm. It's going to be in the, when Freddy goes out of the dream realm and into the physical realm. That's going to be the big moment, because you can't really shoot or stab at the Candyman. He's undead and can move throughout wherever he pleases. So Freddy, as we all know, when he's pulled out of the dream realm, he's mortal. So, yeah, now he's at the mercy of the Candyman at that point. He is at the total mercy of a guy. Even if he does stab him with his gloves, Candyman's gonna be like, whatever, bees, bitch. That's gonna be that's the big thing, is that whenever you do Freddy in a fight, it's that you have to take into account that he's really only a threat when he's in the dreamscape. That's where he's in his element. That's where he gets all of his power from. He can't exactly, do the same here. Now, granted, he did hold his own against Jason pretty well, but, that only lasted for oh so long, because he was smarter. But the thing is that while he was smarter than Jason and learned to play smart against Jason, Candyman's pretty intelligent. Candyman is a very intelligent being. He's also, he's not going to fall for any of Freddy's taunts. He's not going to fall for any of that. He is just going to be like, yeah, I'm still going to kill you. Because if you want to talk about pain, I know a thing about pain, and I'm going to share it with you. So that's the major aspect you have to understand when thinking about this fight, because Candyman's not Jason. The Candyman is a very intelligent, very cunning, and very, just almost nigh unstoppable opponent, really. It's nigh impossible to stop him. Whereas Freddy, you get him out of the dream realm, it's a different story altogether. But in the dream realm, that's where I think the fight's gonna be the most intense, because, yeah, while Freddy is in control of the dream realm, it's clear from Freddy vs. Jason that, and also Dream Warriors and what have you, that it's their dream, so they have some control as well. And I have a feeling that Candyman's subconscious is pretty strong enough to forge his own, his own defenses in his own head against Freddy. So I think it would be more of an even ground in the even in the dreamscape. But still, I just can't help but think of that image of, like, Freddy torturing Robitaille on that day he became the Candyman with, like, instead his hand gets sawed off instead of the hook coming out, it's like the Freddy glove exploding out of his exposed severed limb, and all of the lynch mob just having Freddy's face while they're chanting Candyman, and that'd just be a horrible image. Like, if there ever was a Freddy vs. Candyman movie, or whatever, that needs to be the scene in there when Freddy first attacks Candyman. But yeah, if Candyman can hold his own in the dreamscape, and if he gets him out of the dreamscape, then I think, there's nothing Freddy could really do to hurt him. You could be saying, well, Jason was undead, and he managed to inflict some pain on him. Well, in fairness, Jason is like a zombie deadite kind of thing. He's still like a physical force. Candyman is not. He is a spirit. So you can't really physically harm him unless you're, like, stabbing at a portrait or something. It's like a weird... in Candyman 3, it's kind of like, the only real weakness he had was, like, was taking away his power, much like Freddy. Or stabbing at his portrait, like Dorian Gray shit. But yeah. So this is a tough one, so I'm going to leave it as so. I'm curious to know what you guys have to say about this one, because I was thinking about it, I was like, man, there's a lot of pro-cons to this fight, isn't there? So I leave it up to you. If you think Freddy wins, put hashtag Freddy wins, and list off the reasons why you think Freddy would win. But if you think the Candyman would win, put hashtag Candyman wins, and list off the reasons why you think he would come out on top in this matchup. Really curious to see what you guys have to say about this one. Two undead, super-powered slashers going head-to-head. Tell me you guys wouldn't pay to see this. Seeing Robert Englund and Tony Todd fight, I'd pay to see that. But anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.